Hey folks, Steve here. Just wanted to show you a time-lapse video of me setting up my workbench. This is based on Ron Paulk's plans for his kind of version 2.0 workbench series. And he is currently, I think, on version 3, where he has the accessories that hang off the bench. He has the carts that go under the bench to make it more mobile. It's a really great system, and I look forward to building those as soon as I can find a lightweight set of plywood. But my version is kind of a combination of his version 1 and 2 a little bit, in that mine is 7 feet long instead of his 6 feet long. I am still 3 feet wide. I did it on an imperial system as opposed to the metric system where he uses 96 millimeter on center for all of his layout now, which is an industrial standard, he says, and I'm not one to doubt him. So as I set this up, I'm using the rail system to support my table saw, so therefore I have the entire workbench as my outfeed, which is pretty much why I built this workbench, because almost all the time I'm working by myself, with the exception of just a few projects that I've been doing with a company I helped form lately. So anyway, here I am. I'm going to be able to plug into the trailer because the trailer's plugged into shore power. And I will just fire it off from there. And this is a common workflow that I have, and I'll also sometimes set the miter box up. I will be using my track saw today to break down some of that plywood. This project is basically a shelving system, and I'm just cutting down the plywood at this point to make some shelves. So here I am, kind of top down. I climbed up on the trailer to set my phone up so I could actually get this shot. I do not have really cool camera equipment or a crane to do it with, so this is what I've got. I did notice that my table saw was out of alignment by a little bit, and so here I am just making sure that I have front to back, or side to side rather, on that blade, that my fence is in parallel with that blade. So I'm taking a look at it and making sure that that repair is made, so everything comes off and it is square, and no sense in making a taper cut. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go get a square at this point, I think. There's some tools that I use to actually adjust the saw. Most of it is all star drive and metric. So here I am basically just making sure that blade is in alignment with the fence. The fence adjusts, of course. And it looks like that initial adjustment that I made while the saw was on the rails was exactly what I needed. So therefore, I am all set and ready to go. So I set it back on the rails with those modified pieces of plywood there that actually help support the saw on those rails. I love this system. I really do appreciate it, although I like his newer system a lot better. Not having used it, it just looks a lot more functional. So I'm just basically going to do some rough breaking down of plywood since I have the opportunity to use the table saw to do this. I take that sheet, I'm ripping it to 23 7/8, which is the actual width of all of the shelves, or the length, I guess, the long side. And then what I'll do is I'll end up using my track saw to do cross cuts in order to actually make the 12-inch or 11 and something inch shelves that I am making. It's just a shelving system that I use to store science equipment in my classroom. Here's a large piece of plywood that I had. This is all AC birch, I believe. And so this is giving me my nice rough cuts here, or general cuts. I'll dial it in here in just a little bit. And this table saw, and with this system, with that table as an outflow, it's worth its weight in gold, rather than trying to set up a set of sawhorses and adjust the height and get some 2x4s out or some plywood out to catch the pieces coming off, or go find somebody to catch. It's problematic. So love that workbench. Love the workbench. Catch you later.